I really didn't feel like making this video today. I'm very reluctant in doing so, but I just wanted to sort of set the record straight with what's going on with this whole Memento Mori story. First and foremost, I'll give you the backstory. This is what we're talking about today. These cards here. So to take you back, I was hired by Murphy's Magic a few years ago because they saw me on social media, they saw I was doing well, and they sort of believed that I would be able to help the company out with their social media and product development. It was my first time working for a magic company, and so I'm still to this day super thankful I got to work with them and some of the great people that work at Murphy's, or worked. Now, after a year of working there, put out Red Pill, which was a big hit, which was a nice success and a really, a meaningful project to myself. I started asking myself, what would be the next step for me as an individual, as a brand? That came naturally that I would create a deck of cards. And so I talked to the people at Murphy's and I said I would love to create a deck of cards for the company with my brand attached to it. They agreed and paid my salary, and basically the contracts are with magic companies, no matter what you create, this is for the most part, no matter what you create, they keep 100%. It's all theirs, their idea, they own the rights to it, right? Which is super cool with me. I understand that. I mean, super cool. I mean, I wouldn't do it again, but for where I was at the time, I completely understood it and I agreed with it. So that's cool, no issue there. So I approached him and said I want to design a deck of cards around my brand, around my vision, and sort of my artistic direction, and have something that represented me that I could be really proud of, that I would work really hard on creating. And they gave me the leverage, they gave me the open door. So I met a designer by the name of Adrian Valenzuela. Adrian, who's designed a few decks in the past. Adrian came to me with an idea for a design, a very small idea that he had for, all he had shown me was like this fractal sort of low poly design. I immediately loved it because that was sort of the direction I wanted to go towards. So I said, yes, let's please work together. So over the course of, I would say, 3 to 6 months, Adrian and myself went back and forth, excluding everybody at Murphy's. This is just Adrian and myself. I'm no good with Illustrator or any of those programs really, so I needed somebody who could take my vision and put it in digital form. So I told him I wanted to have a deck that was called Memento Mori because I really love the concept of the idea behind Memento Mori. So I said I wanted a skull. The skull is actually my skull. It's actually my face. So he took my face, took a picture of it, broke it down into low poly, and made a skull out of it, all right, first of all, which I was super impressed with. We went back and forth on how many polygons were in this thing, and we got it to the perfect amount where it didn't look too cluttered and it wasn't too simple. Next came the colors. Started playing around with colors, probably went back and forth about on 12 different designs where the colors would finally be where we wanted them to be, which is a perfect gradient of that, like yellow to blue to green to pink to purple. We went back and forth on each quadrant to say, no, this one needs to be this color, this one needs to be, and the size of it and the shape of it and everything. Once we were happy with that, we knew that we had some backbone for the design. Told him I wanted it to wrap around the tuck case and be embossed and nothing else on that tuck case. It's just a really beautiful picture in my mind, and he ended up creating that, which I was super happy with. So now we had the tuck design. We didn't even have the back design yet, or the faces, or the pips, or anything. We then started looking at the back design. This is probably the hardest thing to do because we went back so many times to the drawing board. Like, we had the whole back design in fractals with 2 skulls. We had big skull, one big skull that could be flipped upside down, so many different designs, until I told him, well, it would be interesting if we just had him kind of, because I wanted, inspiration came from that tuck case. I really like the tuck case, and I said, how can we make the cards look as good as the tuck case? That was my biggest problem. And I didn't want people to, because I love the tuck case, and I didn't want people to open it and be like, oh, well, Finding that perfect balance was, believe it or not, really difficult and tedious. And I ended up putting on a drawing the 2 skulls there, and I said, can you do this? And he did it, and we went back and forth in the sizes and the orientation. And then I said, could we fade out the borders? So the borders went like, they faded into nothing, which has never been done before, which gave it a really nice look. After that, we hit the face cards, the court cards. We went back and forth on each court card. I must have sent him back to Illustrator, at least 2 or 3 times for each court card. And be like, no, there's too many here, it's too busy, his face looks weird. Then we went on the colors. Then we did the Ace, which was dope. And then we did the Jokers, which are actually my logo in a low poly design. And then after that, we did, I did an ad card, which I wrote, and it basically explains my inspiration for this deck on that ad card. And at the end, it goes into, this deck is my Memento Mori, Chris Ramsay. I put a lot into this deck, and I don't care what Murphy says. If they deny that, they can do whatever they want. I don't give a crap at this point. I know how many nights I stayed up with Adrian working on this, and I'm a perfectionist. You can't tell by a lot of the content I put out or anything I do. I really want it to be at the peak of my vision. I want it to be perfect. And so I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and sometimes that makes me a bit annoying to work with because I really want something to come out. So that being said, I was really proud of that, and still am today, actually. Still am very proud of this deck, and I fully support anything with my name attached to it or brand attached to it. I fully support it. However, now the blue Memento Moris came out, and here's the thing. So people ask me like, well, it's their right. They can make it like blue monarchs and red monarchs and blue rounders and red rounders. The deck that I created for Murphy's and myself was not a deck, was not like the purple edition. It was a multitude of different colors put together to create this beautiful design. So if I had made a red Memento Mori deck, by all means, make a blue one or a green one, but you guys completely missed the ball on that one. And that's kind of what pisses me off, is that all you're really thinking about is, well, let's sell some more decks and just change the color. Everybody else does it, why can't we do it? You guys know, do you guys remember Dana Madison when he put out the Players with Theory 11? Really cool deck. And then he left Theory 11, went to Illusionist. How weird would it be if Theory 11 2 years later put out the blue Players? That's kind of a weird situation to put someone in. And it kind of feels like you're riding off their success. Now, I'm not here to inflate my ego, but let's be honest, I bought the Players because they were associated with Dana Madison. Much like many people bought Memento Mori because they were associated with my brand and my vision. I'm not gonna say all of them did, but a big part of it did. I teased that deck for 1 full year before releasing it. And then I created a trailer, and I'm not gonna play the trailer right now. If you wanna see it, I'll leave the link below. But basically they copied the trailer, tried to copy the trailer shot for shot, which also bugs me because I wrote that trailer, I storyboarded every single shot, I rented the studio, everything. Obviously Murphy's paid for all this, okay? Which is super cool, but the idea and the vision of it and the script and every single shot, I knew going into that I had it all written down on a piece of paper. This is what we're gonna shoot today. Here's how we're gonna shoot it. Bam, 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 got all the shots out. It was perfect. Editing, the sound, the music, everything we used was exactly what I wanted it to be, including the teasers and everything. And then they go and make a mock trailer, a trailer that sort of looks like mine, but not really, and didn't put any thought into it. It's literally just, let's copy what Chris did because he did a good thing, and let's just take his name off it and do the same thing. And again, you're legally entitled to do that, and that's not my problem. I don't care about that. I'm not sour about money, all right? I'm not sour about taking my name off the cards or any of that. I don't care. There are people who support me in this community, and they buy the things that I put out to support me, thinking it supports me. And I'm gonna tell you right now, like, all the decks that I've created with these companies, I don't get paid for. I got paid while I worked there as a salary, but that was sort of my contribution to sort of justify the salary that they were paying me, which is super cool. Creating this other version, and first of all, this version, this blue version is complete. Here's what really grinds my gears. This version was not thought of. It wasn't even like, they didn't even think. There's no originality or creativity in this. A complete lack of anything intellectual, anything artistic. My friend Fabian put up this quick little video to show you how easy it would have been to change the Memento Mori design into this design. So check this out.
Colorized. Oh, hey. Oh.
So that basically is what they did. Probably exactly what they did, because not only did they do that to the back design, they did it to every face card. So every card in the deck is the same blue. There's no, like, at least the Memento Mori, there was like a pink and purple hue, a difference. Everything's the same now. Like it or not, this deck is associated with my brand, and Murphy's knows that very well. And they can try to deny it and be like, Chris, this isn't about you. Not everything's about you. You know, they even went on social media, Titanus, who works for the company, and called me a whiny magician. Well, Funny time we live in when a whiny magician has more reach than a magic company. I will constantly push that deck. Even though it brings me absolutely no financial gain or anything else, I worked hard on that, and so I'm really proud of it. So I'm happy to share it, and always have. It pops up in my videos, in my pictures, and by putting this new deck out, people are confused. Before they were even released, like when they were talking about releasing them, I got 30 messages. And then when they were released, I got hundreds of messages by people saying, Chris, I love your new deck. I'm gonna buy it to support you. You see the problem here? You're taking advantage of people and you're lying to them, all right? So again, you can sell 2 million Memento Mori decks, and I'll be super happy for the company, and I'll be happy. I'm really sort of grateful that you gave me the opportunity to do that. But this is a different thing. This is like taking someone's vision, bastardizing it, banalizing it, and putting it into something super ugly and unattractive, and completely negating all the work I put into that. All the work I put in while I was working for you. So they're trying to sell, and I get that. It's a business, you gotta keep the lights on, I understand. All that I would have wanted is like, hey Chris, we're thinking of putting out a V2 Memento Mori. We know that the first one has your name on it. We're gonna take your name off it. We're gonna change the design around a little bit. I hope you're okay with that, right? Because we were always on good terms. Why wouldn't they do that? And I'm sure the conversation came up when they were like, should we ask Chris? And then they ignored it, and that's a kind of a shithead move. Because knowing me, and I've worked with them, I would have 100% been like, yeah, totally, like not a problem at all. You know, let people know, and if you would, I would love to help it, because it is attached to my brand. So I would love to maybe steer it in the right direction, so where it doesn't make my brand look like a piece of shit. But I didn't get that courtesy call. Again, legally, they're allowed to do anything they want, but ethically and morally, and there's just no business acumen there. There's no strategy. There's no nothing. All they did was drag it to blue. Let's sell a bunch because the other ones are selling really well. Chris won't mind, or if he does, who cares? We're legally allowed to. You know what I mean? Like, I'm disappointed in the company that I worked for, that I feel I gave a lot to, and just the courtesy of, hey Chris, do you want to work on this with us? You know, I would have done it all for free. I would have helped you guys out for free, 100%. Like, I don't even care about the money. I don't care about the money. I think you guys get it. I mean, I'm not here just to diss Murphy's Magic. They're a fine company, whatever. They're doing their thing. I don't care. I don't care about other magic companies. I don't care. I got my own things to worry about, my own life to worry about, my own projects to worry about. But what I do care is when you involve something that I've worked on, my brand, you take that and change it to something terrible. You put this trailer out, and you're seeing a lot of the negative reactions. You're seeing a lot of people being like, what the hell is this? And I'm getting messages, people saying, Chris, really? Did you do this? These are ugly. So I don't care. Buy Memento Mori first edition, buy the Knights, buy the blue Memento Moris. You guys can buy whatever you like, and please do. If you like the deck, buy it by all means, but don't buy it thinking it supports me. I don't want to lie to you. Like, don't buy that. If you want to support me, watch this video. You know, watch the videos I put up. That's supporting me. That's good enough. Thank you so much for that. Obviously, you guys are riding off the success of the first deck to print the second one, obviously. And obviously, the first deck is attached to my name. I'm over it. Like, after this video, this is the last I'll speak of it. I don't want to send out bad vibes into the Magic community. I don't want people to think I'm like super like angry at this, because I'm like, after this video is uploaded, I'll be over it. I just wanted to kind of put in my 2 cents and let you guys know what the full story was, how much I worked on the first edition, how much I still support it today, and I still support everything in the Magic community that has my name on it. If you're gonna take something that has my name on it, change it around and pretend I had nothing to do with it, I'm gonna call you out, and I'm gonna call you a dick, all right? So dick move, Murphys, but other than that, life is good. So guys, that's all I'm gonna say today. Thanks so much for watching. Sorry for sounding so complainy. Oh, and one last thing. My first deck of playing cards, my very first proper deck of playing cards, the deck that I have full control over, that I have the rights to, that I've cultivated into what it is, will be available shortly. I'm very, very proud of this. I'm proud of all my decks, honestly, but this one, because sort of I've left everything to do this YouTube thing and to be a full-time magician and all that, kind of like, you know, symbolically is my emancipation and the proof of, hey, I did it, I made it, this is me This is all me. I'm very happy about that. When that drops, if you guys want to buy that to support me, that'll definitely support me, but most importantly, buy it if you think it's nice. So the design is basically finalized. It's all finished. I'm sending it off to get a prototype. Once I get the prototype, I'm gonna rent a studio, film the trailer, and do all that. I'm not gonna go to Kickstarter with it. I don't want to deal with Kickstarter. I kind of want to keep them out of the loop and just do it myself with the YouTube fam. So anyways, these are all things that are up in the air, but the deck design is pretty much finished and I can't wait to show that to you. I can't show it to you now because I like photography, so I'm going to take a really sick picture of the deck and put it out there for you guys to see and work really hard on the trailer. And yeah, stay tuned for the next video and we'll see you soon. All right, peace out. Rah.